I generally get questions that do we really need to have a good communication skills, English communication skills to grow in this industry? And my communication skills are not good. How to improve my communication skills? These are the primary questions that I get. And let me tell you one thing. Having an English communication skills from ground zero is absolutely possible. Okay, it is that we, as a human being, right, which we fix that yes, this is something I cannot learn, and this is tough for me. I cannot uh, go forward. We limit our beliefs. We limit our thoughts. That's the reason we think, okay, this is tough for me. Let me tell you one thing. I am from a commerce background. I think I have already shared in some of my videos. And I am from a small village in Orissa. And there, until graduation, right, that is vernacular type of history. And the friends, the teachers, or the professors who were there in the college or in the school, we never interacted in English. By the way, English was my third language. First was my mother tongue, and second is Hindi, and always third was English. So you can understand now, you can relate it. In a small village where all the people talk the regional language, and speaking English is like an impossible thing. So here is what I have done. The moment I came to a big city and I understand that it's really a hurdle, right? It's really a problem if we do not know English. And by the way, I had a very strong MTI, mother tongue influence in my speech. Whenever I was talking, it's like, we have a pho. Pho, it is like Fish, fish, right? I used to say it's a piece, right? Issue, okay? Position, and floor, and many these kind, okay? So I had to come over it because with this kind of uh, intonation, I really definitely not going to get job. And nobody told me that I really need to work on my English. Okay. And after failing multiple interviews, I realized I really need to improve in my English. The first thing what I have done is I joined an English course, spoken English course. And only joining or buying a book where you might have seen improve your English in 30 days, that's really not going to work. So you need to work on that. We need to practice on that. The first thing you got to do, I'm telling you what I have done, right? What you have to do is think English, talk English, sleep English, and drink English. What I was doing is, whatever I was thinking before, I was thinking in my mother tongue. Now I started thinking in English. Let's say so many thoughts come to our mind, right? We might be thinking so many things. So rather than thinking in our regional language, why don't we start thinking in English? For example, मुझे अभी घर जाना है, फिर वीडियो एडिट करना है, and I need to मुझे नहाना भी है. So here, why don't I think in English? Okay, when I go home, I need to take a shower, I need to edit videos. What else I have to do? And these are the things I started thinking in English. Okay. And second thing, what I have done, I started talking to myself. I ask questions, and I answer that to myself. I didn't have a big mirror. Okay, I had a small mirror where I can see this much. And during my job search, I was renting somewhere in a very small room in Hyderabad, and that's like a pathetic situation. That's a whole different story. There, holding the mirror like this, the way I'm holding my phone now, and looking at myself, and I ask, tell me something about yourself. Then I start answering to myself. tell me something about yourself. Again, asking myself. That's the second thing I do to understand how my facial expression, how my eyes, and how my voice is going. Okay. And the third thing is, I had a small Samsung mobile during that time in 2004-5. So what I used to do is I used to record my voice in English. Okay, the same thing what I have told to myself in the mirror, I used to record that and I used to listen to that. What words that I really need to work on. That is the third thing I have done. Then fourth thing I have done is, yes, I read newspapers. Okay, taking a newspaper and reading it loud. Most of the time we do not get confidence unless we speak louder and give proper intonation like a sound modulation. Okay, opening a paper, and by the way, most of the roommates, they go for the jobs, and that is what my job is. I need to, after my finishing my breakfast, I got to open the paper, newspaper, and start reading loudly, and start reading. And that's what one thing where if I find any big tough word, I used to go to the teacher there in the spoken English, and they used to correct me. And after that, yes, whenever I stuck in a word, if you go to dictionary, they'll have the phonetics, right? How to pronounce a particular set of letters, like SHA, they'll mention sh, or like unique k, or a, e, I. So that kind of sounds, that's called phonetics. And I used to read that phonetics to understand what is that word is. Okay. And sixth thing is, better to find a colleague, or better to find a friend who definitely can listen to you, or who has the interest to learn English. So what you can do is, you can start talking to that person. Either way, it is not going to harm, because that's your friend and you are just interacting and sharing your thoughts in English. Another thing, whenever I had to talk in English, I never felt shy, because that is the one thing I believe which let me overcome of my English spoken fear. I used to talk whatever coming to my mouth. I mean, that is how it is. Unless I speak, I really don't understand where I'm lacking. Seventh part, try to give interviews as many as you can. Okay, try to talk in English and give interviews as many as you can. Then, by doing all of this, by following a process while doing all this and being consistent, I'm sure you guys definitely going to increase in your vocabulary as well as your English spoken skills. And when you get the job, right, when you get into the job, that's where the primary thing is going to happen. You will have a lot many people you need to talk in English. You do not have to shy, and speak slowly, and don't go or don't rush on anything. Just go slowly, thinking you are just learning and you are telling the right thing. Okay. Yes, I remember another thing. I used to watch English movies, English cartoon movies, where there are subtitles, or without subtitles as well. I need to grab what they're talking. Let's say I watched Ice Age 1, 2, 3, Madagascar, and Aladdin, and Donald Duck I didn't watch. And yes, these 4 or 5 I definitely watched the way how they are talking, because if you watch cartoon movies, that is primarily intended for small kids, and there is no big words, big sentences are been mentioned there. So from there I understood how to talk in English and how to reply, and so on. So this is not the only one thing that you need to learn, but there might be so many things that you can use it. Just this is the start, okay? Make this as the start, and you will never regret what you have done to improve your English skills. Thank you very much for watching. Do share this with your friends who would like to increase their English communication. I'm sure it is going to help you and them as well. Alright? Thank you very much for watching. This is Suman Pachigulla on a mission to impact 5 million lives. Take care and God bless. I'm signing off.
No.